So yeah, talking about from a testing perspective, yeah, definitely KTern does, not just from a testing perspective, from a project and process oriented way of operations as well. If there are any tickets or any issues, yeah, you can definitely make use of this wizard. Now, since we are focusing upon digital labs, maybe I can show you one example, like how the issues can be created as well. Like, let me put it up like a production testing issue. Description, I can just name it like sample. Yeah, the issue type, I can mark it like it is primarily a data oriented issue. The issue source, of course, you can select the respective issue type. The issue source, yeah, you can mark it as a defect captured from testing as well. You can choose the respective test case against which has to be mapped, and choosing the specific test case. We can assign priorities. If there is any risk which has to be linked up as well, that can be linked up. Then you can also map the stakeholders who can come into play for resolving this issue. We can have the plan versus actual timeline planning. So I'm just putting up the dates, assigning it respective to the respective bug fixer to resolve this issue. So once I click on create, automatically what happens is that this issue will be created, and not just stopping with that, the one that we created now, this is the issue. So automatically this specific stakeholder called Vignesh Bharani would also have been notified via mail with this issue creation. And then of course, yeah, from there on, the respective workflows and Vignesh will come into play. He can go about doing all kinds of operations on this specific issue as well. The issue shows it can be a defect or it can be a general issue as well. Like it can be a general network issue, it can be a general process oriented issue, or like it can be a general process. So you can specify the source with which this issue corresponds to, and also you do have the issue type. So this data is all configurable. So it is not prefixed that you have to specify authorization or only configuration. So you can specify network, or you can specify production and things like that. You can configure this data. You can specify the type. You can specify what is the source. Yeah, we were focusing on the issue wizard. So where just to focus upon not the overall stakeholder and plan business actual, there is also the references section where you can link this specific issue with a project item as well. For instance, like let me add a new reference. So I am just focusing on like master data, maybe just a sample component. So if I want to link this up with a process or a task as well, yeah, that is definitely possible. So with process, I'm linking up with this digital labs issue with the digital process item. So I can choose the process item with which it has to be linked upon. So maybe I will click upon the sourcing and procurement. I can link this issue with the respective process item, which is already present as part of the digital process catalog. And yeah, you have that created instantly. So you can create references. So there is seamless integrations happening between digital labs and process and projects. So everything is connected over here. So talking about discussions, yeah, from a system integrator perspective, from IT perspective, you can definitely drop in comments in terms of any versus notes that you have to refer to, or anything that you wanted to talk with the respective stakeholders, you can add as part of the comments and discussions. The history will be created. So discussions, the files. I mean, you can also upload files. You can add with your notes. There is hierarchy with which you can track upon where this test case lies upon. So you have complete orchestration of the defects oriented towards the test case.